Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. I evaluated the ministry at my church called Caminando con Cristo, which we call it CCC for short, and in translated from Spanish to English is Walking with Christ. So what is CCC? CCC is a young adult ministry in Santa Barbara Catholic Church in Hialeah, Florida. It was established in 2004. It's meant for young adults within the ages of 18 and 34, and we meet every Friday from 8 p.m. to 9:30. So we've done many activities in the ministry, like prayer, adoration, mass, worship. We've helped the community, like going to downtown and feeding the homeless, giving them clothing. We've gone to nursing homes. We've participated in Ronald McDonald's House of Charities. We've done retreats in various parts of the world. I personally have gone even to New York to do a retreat. And we've created holy friendships by being with people that are looking for the same purpose, and that is growing closer to God. And that's what we learn to do in our ministry, learning to put God first at all times. So what is Pangea? Pangea is an event that CCC decided to create, at least the coordinators did, because the pandemic influenced the ministry a lot. Once the pandemic reached the US, we had to turn our Friday meetings to Zoom, and eventually once everything opened up, people had to come back to their work and everything else that they would do. And there was also members that were scared to get sick, so eventually, the participation of the members decreased over time, and there was just a lack of members overall. So the Pangea was meant to bring in more adults, and it was promoted in various ways, like through social media, word of mouth, and with friends and family. And the different activities within the event was mass, adoration, testimonies, questions and answer session, and a meet and greet dinner. So there were two primary evaluation questions. One was which activities from the event mostly encouraged young adults to join the ministry. What can the ministry change from the event to bring in more young adults? Those were the two primary evaluation questions. So the evaluation design was a process and summative one. It was meant to assess and to collect valuable information about which activities were engaging and least favored by the participants. And the evaluation design is non-experimental. The collection methods are that there was a survey link that was sent to the participants through message, and they had to complete it electronically through Google Forms. The data is secured on my computer and a password encrypted MacBook Air, and the participants are of 18 years and older and consented to participate. These are the different survey questions, which were divided into demographics, forced choice, and open-ended. I'm going to go through the results of each one right now. The analysis methods are that the Google Forms actually was amazing and separated the data for me through percentages and graphs. And of course, the answers were based on the participants' interests, dislikes, and recommendations. An infographic was created, which I will show towards the end or at the end of my presentation. Questions 1 through 4, 6, 8, and 9 were forced choice, and questions 5, 7, and 10 were open-ended. So the demographics. So the majority of the participants of the survey were current members, while the rest were new members and coordinators. The event, they were informed of the event mostly by a member of the church. So other members of the church were sharing about the event. And the majority of the members or the participants actually have only been less than 1 year in the ministry. And that's just a result of what the pandemic did to the ministry. So this was one forced choice and one open-ended response. Which activity from the Pangea event did you enjoy the most? The participants mostly enjoyed adoration because it made them feel closer to God. It made them feel peace with God. And they enjoyed the music and worship that we did during adoration. This is another forced choice open-ended. What did they least enjoy? And that was the question and answer sessions, because there's only a few people there and there was really not a lot of questions asked. And these were feedback from members. All of them would either join or return to CCC. And most, if anything, I think it was 6 out of 7 members or participants would actually recommend CCC to other young adults. So feedback that they provided were that there should be physical games, music, an interacting game with people, more singing, and episodes of The Chosen, which is a great show. So some conclusion and results are that the data, of course, will help CCC coordinators and members to plan for the event if it's again pursued in the future. And it'll all be meant to bring in more young adults to the ministry. Of course, we want to evangelize and bring more young adults closer to God. And through that, we would have to include more physical level of engagement with participants. What did the research say? It would help coordinators and members in the future inclined to bring in more members to the ministry and making them feel closer to God, which is the main purpose of the ministry existing in the parish, and bring in more a physical level of engagement. There should in the future be more promotion of the Pangea events, not just through the word of mouth, but more so social media. I feel like that is where there was a lack of promotion. But of course, continue with adoration since everybody enjoyed that the most, and that there should be a replacement between the question and answer session just to bring in more games, music, singing, and or dancing. Either way, there will be socialization between those moments, and we can just share more about the group with those that are interested in joining. So let me show you my infographic. This is the infographic I created summarizing the data from each question. This is the one for the who responded, their role in CCC. How promoting to the public, how did they hear about it, their consistency in CCC, how long they were in it, most enjoyable and least enjoyable activity. We know that most enjoyable is adoration and least enjoyable is the question and answer session. The reasoning behind it, and their possibility of joining or returning to CCC, which is 100%, and they're of course more inclined to recommending the ministry to others. And these were the inputs of the CCC members in terms of what they would do in the future if another Pangea event would be pursued. Thank you so much for listening.